Okay, this session deals with opinion questions. Okay, opinion questions are considerably more difficult to construct than factual questions. And the main reason for that is opinion questions tend to deal with issues such as attitudes, beliefs, and values. And these constructs tend to be influenced by experience, they're not always static, and they're particularly influenced by context. So, in relation to survey design, they can be particularly influenced by previous questions in the survey. Phrasing in opinion questions is particularly important, as it can lead somebody into forming, as a question may lead a respondent into forming an opinion that is not actually their own. Okay. Opinion questions can be particularly difficult to construct if you're dealing with different groups, particularly in relation to different cultures, where phrasing may influence some groups more than others. With opinion questions, you also have to be mindful of the fact that a person may not have an opinion on the particular topic that the question addresses, and you may consider including a no opinion option, or you may not. So looking at the opinion questions here, so the first one, in your opinion, how important are financial rewards to work or productivity? 1 being very important and 5 being very unimportant. So the type of question that you would think a HR manager in a firm may be asked to answer. An issue with this question is that financial rewards may not mean the same thing to each person. So to one person it may be pay, to another person it may be bonuses. So again, you can see how ambiguous terms in an opinion question are difficult. Also here, you're giving the respondent the option to tick whether they consider it to be very important down to very unimportant. However, you're not asking them to rank how important they consider financial rewards is relative to maybe other HRM practices, other human resource management practices. So you may have a number of questions like this, and you may find that an individual ticks all of them as being very important, but you have no idea of which human resource management practices they consider to be the most important. So something to consider with opinion questions. Would you prefer them to rank different concepts that you're interested in, or to rate them? The second question here that we look at is a customer satisfaction type question. So how satisfied were you with your stay at the Comfort Hotel? Very satisfied, somewhat dissatisfied, very dissatisfied. Okay. Here, this question is a closed-ended question. So again, the respondent has been given a number of categories, and they tick the box beside the one that most reflects their opinion on this day. Something to be very mindful of when you're asking somebody about satisfaction. Your satisfaction is likely to be very influenced by your expectations. So one person may stay at the Comfort Hotel and have very high expectations, and therefore be somewhat dissatisfied maybe with their stay. Another person maybe went to the Comfort Inn Hotel with very low expectations, and therefore may be very satisfied with their stay, but this is relative to their low expectations. So a number of things to consider in relation to opinion questions. What is it you're trying to measure? How are you going to measure it? Are you going to perhaps rate, ask the respondent to rate or to rank the concepts or topics that you're interested in? Is the phrasing of the question clear? Will it be understood in the same way by all people? So in the same way with a factual question, you have to consider reliability and validity. Are you giving the person an option of having no opinion, or are you going to force them into one side or other? And also, you have to be very mindful of their expectations if you are measuring something like satisfaction.